I gotta start with a quote by the Dalai Lama. Today is more than ever before. Life must be characterized by the sense of universal responsibility, not just nation to nation and human to human, but human to the other forms of life. That's what I'm here to talk about. I'm passionate about wildlife conservation towards other forms of life. In the last 10 years, I have done everything I can to learn as much as I can about it. I read books, I talked to experts, I attended conferences and traveled the world. As well as to see for myself what goes on in these places. I visited chimpanzees in Uganda. I visited mountain gorillas families in Rwanda. Everywhere I go, the root cause of the dwindling numbers of these species is human population pressure. A recent visual example I saw of this is together with found growing of terracite ruptured boundaries, parts of last remaining habitat for the mountain gorilla. Let's talk about population. With 6.7 billion people in the world today, expected to rise to 9 or 10 billion just in the next 40 years. The problem is with already got billions of people we don't have enough to eat. What is it going to be like when we increase the pressure, the human population's pressure, by another 50%? So I think we're going to have more conflicts, more wars over scarce resources. Let's drink is water per person. We're going to have less food per person, more disease and suffering. Now, it's difficult to comprehend about that suffering on a global scale. When we're talking about billions of people, I know this is suffering to think about. Is this a future we want to leave for our children or grandchildren? I don't think so either, so let's steer towards a better future, some better world. That's our greatest word for our generation. Is to learn to live in the planet at least benignly. Why would we do that? What reasons would do that is that our fellow living things who happen not to be human don't have representative in the Congress. They don't have a lobbyist in Washington. They don't have a force at the table. And yes, they are completely dependent for their survival on our goodwill, much like children. Let's talk about our country's population and our wildlife. We had about 5 million people in the our countries across 80 towns, 290 million people in 2000, more now, of course. At the conference, I met a scientist Andrea Liberty, who has done fascinating work comparing wildlife sizes in 17th and 18th centuries to how wildlife reigned today in our country. This chart, the pinkish areas, I'm not sure how it's blue here, are where we used to have like bears. The yellow areas are where they still are today. You see there's been lots of recessions there. This is a great wolf. We used to have a great wolf. Spreading all over the country's pinkish areas you see on the charts not so today. We used to have grizzly bears. Spreading over about half of our country, and you see they receded as we don't have them. This were just 206 years ago. There's yellow islands that would be craters Yellowstone ecosystem. Let's look at the summary map. Take a look at this right here. Red is good. Green is bad. White is very bad. So you will lose as well as species in our country. Those wet areas means that's all of wildlife. In this case, it's 80th country is gone from our country. Do you think it's normal not to have wildlife running brothers on the tribes in our country? That's not normal. Let's bring it hard here to from the range of Colorado tonight. We used to have wild bison. That's gone. We used to have great horse. That's gone. We used to have sorry my clickers, little splashes. Crazy crispy bears could have been raised outside. That's gone. We used to have Lynx, the cat. Gone. Maybe it is honest believing. We used to have like forests prepared, very dependent on. You used to have this beautiful little bird, and the mountain flowers are also gone. This is so various information, so what can we do? We can choose a better future. Let's apply this empathy that we have for cats, dogs, as other pets. To endangered species like chimpanzees, but aren't endangered species. Let's have a few for children. That's what are the most powerful. I did a past response. That's one of the most powerful things that we can do in the United States. If we want us to have kids, great. Let's have two. If we want to have more than two kids, let's adopt. What else can we do? Well, we want to there. So what else can we do? We can help educate girls and provide economic opportunities to women in developing countries. Amen. But we do that. Those ladies too to have smaller families, as we have more nutrition, more health care, more education for their kids. Its impact on the global populations is huge. Finally, what can we do? Is we can give more to our planet. We can give half of our donation, let's say, to people related causes, and half of our donation to oceans conservation, to wildlife conservation. As what I mentioned, by the way, today, with all this gift, about 2 to 5% of all giving that goes to environment and wildlife as a category. You've been very patient with sometimes difficult topic. I just want to say is that a thing to think about is do we change? As a species, what do we do? So that our fellow living beings who happen not to be human can try alongside of us. 100, 500, and 1,000 years from now. Thank you very much.